Hey there, everyone. Your farmer Samuel here. Just wanted to touch base and show you all how to customize your share on GrownBy. So when you get an email or an in-app notification that your share is ready to customize, you will click a link and that'll take you right to the customization page. Now, if you have not signed in recently, you may have to sign in again. So I'm going to show you the sign-in process here in the upper right corner. Click there, and then click Sign In. I'm using my Google account. You can use your email, so you would click there for email or down here with Google. So I'm using Google, so I clicked on that, and I am now logged in. Here's my notification. My share is ready to customize, so let's go. Click there, and this will show you the share that is built on GrownBy for you. Mine's a regular size share, so it's $27 with a remaining value currently of 0. Sometimes, though, it'll build it for 22 and leave you $5 remaining value. Either way, you can obviously spend all your value. If you don't spend it all, it will roll over to next week, and it's set to roll over up to $15 per week. Now, if you take a vacation share, vacation week, you'll have that value also that you could use for extra purchases. From this first page, you can also update your preferences right here. So if you want to say you love carrots and kale, don't want onions and garlic, you can word this any way you want, basically getting the point across. Or if you have certain dietary restrictions, you can also put that here too. Not that we're putting baked goods in the share or anything, but you can put whatever you want to here, and so it will know that um, for next time. So you can save those preferences. And back here, you can click on the pictures or down at the bottom where it says add or edit products. Of course, if you like it just how it is, you can go to checkout. But if you're here, I would go to add or edit products right there. It tells you how much is your value for the week. All right, $27. Okay. We're going to scroll down, and if you're on a computer, you'll see the side panel over here. Now, you see how tricky this thing is? It just said my value was $27, but when I clicked in, now it's just showing 22. So there's not a perfect system, but we are excited to get to use it and simplify our ordering and our packing your share process this year. So the way it is now, it's $22, one arugula, one collard, one kale. Perhaps the reason it changed because maybe someone had purchased that item between when it had built that box. So anyway, one of each, a collard and kale, large head of lettuce, microgreen variety pack, and radishes. Now, as far as what size this is, that's where it gets a little more challenging since we have different sizes of microgreens. If you click on checkout, if you like how everything is, or let's just add parsley because we have some money to spend. So I'm going to go ahead and add parsley. Now up to 25. And so there's not a $2 item. So without going over, you would stop there. Let's go to checkout and see what we have in the cart. If you click on checkout, it will show you that you have a pint of microgreens for $5. But if you wanted more than that, then you'll go back. You want to use the back button. Leave that checkout area and it'll take you here. I would recommend if you want to edit what the microgreen is, You can go to 2, but that's going to give you 2 of the medium size. For less packaging and all that, you might prefer a different size. So I would recommend with microgreen only, always go to 0. Then you can actually go back and it will bring up the size options. Now, let's say I don't want the variety pack. I really like spicy mix. So I'm going to go spicy mix instead. I can go with tea. I have 3 options there. So I'm going to go with the $3 one. A small spicy. And now up here, after that little message goes away, you see I'm at $23. So I got some money to spend still. Because remember, it's 27. So I'm going to add I could add one of these, but it's not $4. So if I want to get every dollar spent, I'm going to need to find something that costs $4. I'm going to go for 2 bunches of kale. There we go. Now I'm at exactly $27. Now you can go back to checkout. You can see total due is $0. The promo is something that it automatically applies because you're a member. So you want to not mess with that. You can add a payment method, either one of these. There are some fees for the bank or the card, but you can also pay offline if you would like to pay as cash or check in person. Confirm that, add your billing address, and you're good to go with a $0 order. But wait, there's more. Let's go back. Let's say that you actually have company coming over and you need lettuce. So let's get 3 heads of lettuce. Uh-oh. It says you reached the max quantity available. So you can only get 2 heads of lettuce this week. So we'll do that. And then we'll need some spinach to add to the salad. That added to the cart. There were no options. So hitting the plus sign just went straight in your cart. And you definitely need some turnips that were hiding down there. Now, with those things, you can go to cart if you want to view it before going to checkout. And in this view, you can change the sizes. But remember, with the microgreens, if you add plus, it's just going to give you 2 of the smalls. So I don't recommend the microgreens. Adjusting that here, you can go back to the other page to adjust microgreens. Otherwise, on everything else, just hit plus. Like later in the summer, we'll have tomatoes. If there's a sold by the pound, you could just increase your pounds there. If it's, by a container size, like a half pint of cherry tomatoes, you might want to go back to cart to adjust them if there's different size options. Let's go with one more bunch of radishes because they're beautiful. All right, perfect. Now I could go to checkout. And this is how my CSA checkout would look, $15 extra. All right, one more thing I want to show you before we're done. We're going to leave the checkout screen one last time. And we're going to go back to the CSA. This is the list of all the products that are available for your customization this week. When you first log in, one thing I forgot to mention, when you first log in, if you don't get the pop-up to customize, you can use the purple bar up top when you first log in. But once you've already customized, you don't want to go back to the purple bar. I know it's a lot to remember, sorry. This is all your CSA items. If you would like to see what else we have available to add on, this is very important. If you want to add anything additional that's not in the CSA, like maybe we have baked goods, then you're going to need to go and X out the CSA tab right here. If you do that, now you've entered our regular shop, which also, if you ever click the shop products up top here, it will take you to this cart, this area, which is not your customization. From here, you can add if we have, let's say, I don't know, muscadines, or if we have certain kinds of specialty veggies that are not in the CSA, which is not going to usually be the case. This is going to be more your baked goods and other add-ons. But either case, if you go to the regular shop, you can add your items here. Like I said, this is how you quick add, or you can actually click into the product if you want to see more details, like the ingredient list. You'll find that right here in the description. And so you can add, let's go for 6 muffins, add to cart. And then you can go back to the shop, the regular products, and go to the bread here, and you can add a loaf to the cart. And there it is. And then if you want to add more than one, look at that. Let's go for 2. I think I'm done now. Let's go to the cart, and you'll be able to do one more look across everything that you ordered. There's the baked goods and all the salad goodies. Then you go to your checkout screen and you place your order if you're happy with everything. Any questions? Like always, you have our contact information. Just really appreciate taking the time to watch this video. If you have any questions, reach out and we will get your veggies to you soon. Thanks again.